Oh my gosh, did you see how big his can was? Have you wandered onto a YouTuber's channel and they say something like,
once you buy a suppressor, you'll never go back. Shooting suppressed will change your life. I only shoot suppressed. Size doesn't matter. Shooting with cans is way better. I hate people who shoot without suppressors. Shooting suppressed is the polite thing to do. Who doesn't want a quiet gun?
your parents never loved you? Well, I'm here to play devil's advocate and tell you why you might not want to jump on the suppressor bandwagon. At least not yet. Now, before you start firing off in the comments, yes, I'm going to be a little contrarian here. I don't think the trade-offs of suppressors get talked about enough. And just so you know where I'm coming from, I'm a suppressor snob. I've got them on as many guns as possible. But I've learned the hard way that they're not always the game changer people think. I want to make some clarifications before going any further. 1, I support suppressor ownership. 2, I do not support the NFA and I want to see it gutted and removed completely. 3, I mostly shoot suppress, and given the option, I'll always prefer it. 4, I am just making this video as a thought experiment and to shed some light on shortcomings of suppressors. So hold the pitchforks and enjoy the devil's advocate TED Talk.
Marge, may I play devil's advocate for a moment?
Sure, go ahead.
Come on, get in there. Go!
Suppressors get hyped up like they're the ultimate upgrade. Quieter shooting, less recoil, more tactical Instagram operator status. And sure, they can do all that, but here's the truth. They're expensive. You get entered into a registry. They can be a headache logistically if you travel, and honestly, they're not always worth it. So in this video, I'm breaking it down into 3 categories. The enthusiast side, self-defense / tactical, and hunting. And answering the real question, why might you not actually want a suppressor? To set the stage, let's talk about what makes suppressors so appealing. Shooting with a suppressor is just a different experience. It doesn't make your gun silent, but it takes away that painful concussion and sharp crack that makes long-range sessions exhausting. If you've ever been under a covered bay while shooting, you know how brutal that echo and blast can be. A suppressor smooths out all of that and it makes shooting feel more controlled and honestly just more enjoyable. You'll also notice a little less recoil and muzzle rise, which makes follow-up shots easier. It's not like shooting a .22, but it's noticeable. For me, one of the biggest game changers is communication. Shooting with a suppressor means I can actually talk to a buddy, a student, or even my husband without screaming over every shot. That makes learning, teaching, and even just having fun at the range way better. And if we're being honest with ourselves, suppressors are just fun and they look pretty friggin' cool. There's something really satisfying about running a suppressed rifle or pistol. The recoil goes from a smack to a thudunk. I said that, I go thudunk. The recoil goes from a smack to a thudunk, if you catch my drift. It makes you want to shoot more, and let's be real, my goal is to get as many people into shooting and shooting sports, so that definitely helps. And even in Europe, who makes their laws based on politeness, allows suppressors more commonly than here in the States, which is really depressing if you're a red-blooded, freedom-practicing, NFA-hating, Western expansion-loving American like myself. So why might you not want a suppressor as an enthusiast? The first thing is cost. A decent can will run you hundreds, if not over $1,000, plus the tax stamp, although that is moving to $0 in January 2026, and then the weight. And after all that, you still need to ask yourself, is it really worth what you're getting? There's also the health side of it. People think, oh, suppressed means safe, but backpressure means more gas and carbon blowing back into your face. If you've run an AR with a can, especially a direct impingement rifle, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Watery eyes, coughing, that nasty taste in your mouth. Not fun. And here's the kicker. Most suppressors aren't actually hearing safe when you're running supersonic ammo. Yeah, subsonics sound great. They're fun to shoot, Hollywood quiet, but they're also a lot more expensive and sometimes harder to source. And on top of that, you'll spend more time tinkering. Suppressors often mean tuning your gun, messing with gas blocks, changing springs or buffers. It's not always a slap it on and go. And of course, there's the paperwork. You're adding yourself to the ATF's little notebook, subject to documentation, forms, approvals, and tracking. It's a process. And maybe the biggest thing, suppressor tech is just getting better. Prices are slowly dropping. So if you're buying during a rush, like right now or what's coming in 2026, you might end up stuck with a lower quality can at the highest price it'll ever sell for. Honestly, in my opinion, with the reduction of the price of the tax stamp coming in 2026, I think there's probably going to be a gold rush when it comes to suppressors, which is going to cause some innovation with suppressors. So if you buy now, you might be missing on some great technology coming soon. If you're out on the range often, then you know how important it is to keep a steady supply of ammo on hand and not rely on last-minute restocks or inconsistent availability. That's where Ammo Squared comes in. They are America's ammunition reserve. You pick from over 70 different calibers, set your monthly budget, and then let it build up over time. When you're ready, you ship it. Simple as that. They store everything in climate-controlled facilities so your ammo stays in good shape until you need it. No hidden fees, no minimums, and shipping's free on orders over $250. For me, it's been a solid way to keep training ammo stocked up without having to think about it. And it's also great if you have a small budget or just want to build a stockpile without spending hundreds or even thousands of dollars up front. It's a great way to stay ready without scrambling last minute. Now, moving on to self-defense. This one gets pretty interesting. Let's say you keep a suppressed rifle or pistol for home defense. On paper, it makes sense. Protect your hearing, protect your family's hearing, but in real life, it's not that simple. First, sound can be your friend. If something goes down in your home, the noise alerts other people nearby, maybe even neighbors, to call 911. With a can, that urgency disappears. And then there's the legal side. And I'm going to channel my inner James Reeves here, because anything and everything about your firearm can and will be brought up in court. It's not about what's true, it's about what a jury thinks. A suppressor, to someone who doesn't know guns, can look like an assassin's tool. That's a tough thing to explain away, especially if you're facing jurors who already don't like firearms. Remember, trials are about persuasion, not just the facts. And don't forget the practical side. In a tight space like a hallway, a suppressor adds extra length, which makes your gun harder to maneuver. Sure, it might save your hearing, but you've got to weigh that against the trade-offs, both in the courtroom and in your own house. And let's not forget, anything that's used in a potential crime will be I keep adding an S in there. I go and then I start
Constipated.
Oh my gosh. No, that's consecrate.
Concentrate.
All those words are so similar, gosh. Will be confiscated.
Okay.
And let's not forget, anything that's used in a potential crime will be confiscated for the duration of the investigation. And finally, hunting. This is probably where suppressors make the most sense, but even then there are trade-offs. First, you're carrying extra weight on the end of your rifle all day. If you're hiking miles through the woods or up a mountain, that gets old fast. Now, there are different materials you can choose from, which does make a difference, but either way, it does add weight. And depending on your state, hunting with a suppressor might not even be legal. For example, at the time of recording this video, 8 states ban suppressors outright. Hawaii, California, surprise, surprise, Illinois, New York, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Jersey, and Delaware. And then we have one state, Connecticut, where it is legal to own and use a suppressor, except for hunting. Now, this is not legal advice, and always check your local and state laws because we know laws can change faster than my mood. And third, ammo choice. To get the quietest performance, you want to run subsonic rounds, but that means higher cost and, more importantly, less velocity and less terminal performance. This is not ideal for hunting. And to cap it all off, once you shoot suppressed, you'll likely never want to shoot unsuppressed ever again. It's addictive, and it makes you hate everyone else who doesn't shoot suppressed, especially those 10-inch ARs with a muzzle brake at the gun range. You know who you are, and you should be publicly shamed. Although I was that one day, or back in the day.
It's me. Hi, I'm the problem, it's me.
So where does that leave us? Suppressors absolutely have their place. I'm not saying they're useless. What I am saying is that they are not the magical accessory a lot of people claim. For most casual enthusiasts, your money is better spent on ammo, training, and maybe optics before diving down the suppressor rabbit hole. But if you've got a specific purpose, like you're a serious hunter in a state that allows it, or if you shoot enough to want less fatigue, then yeah, a suppressor might make sense. Also, I do want to give a quick shout out to a friend of the channel, Silencer Shop, because they honestly make the NFA process way easier than trying to do it yourself. And just quick note, my sponsors are probably not going to like this video. Sorry, Silencer Shop and Rugged. I hope you guys still love me. That's my take, but I do want to hear from you. Do you think suppressors are worth it, or do you think they're overhyped? Drop a comment down below and let's talk about it. And before I go, I've got to thank my Patreons. You guys are amazing, so thank you so much. My Patreons get early access to videos, extra content, and no feet pics. If you want to support the channel, check out the link in the description down below and consider joining my Patreon. I would appreciate if you would like, comment, subscribe, all those things. Reshare this to your stories on Instagram. Tag me, I will repost it. I just want to break through the algorithm and show YouTube that you guys want to see more gun content.